You're listening to an MDS podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the B-side, all right, of the video game talk. And we're here with my good friend, my twin, my partner in twinship crime, Isaac Martin Denniston. And we are going to continue our talk today about, we want to pick up where we left off last time. Twin, where we leave off? We were talking about CD rom-coms and some pixelated pictures, and I think we were talking about the Atari system, weren't we?
And just start the episode.
Okay. You're listening to the Burney Denniston household on the MDS Podcast Network. Why don't you come and take a seat here on the couch with us?
So then I'm thinking of high school. Did you get into like the whole... Did you have an iPod Touch? Did you play games on that? Did you get into...
I never got into Apple products.
Okay. Did you play games then on anything portable like that at that point? Did you have... At that point,
phones were becoming becoming better. And so I would just use my phone for games.
Yeah, I didn't really have a phone that could handle games like that, but I had an iPod Touch. Because my first smartphone I got my first smartphone, I think senior year of high school, summer of senior year. I got that iPhone 5C. It was the plastic iPhone. But I had the iPod Touch, and so I remember when Angry Birds was huge, I was playing that. I remember trying to think. I don't know if you remember this too. Facebook games got popular there for a little bit too.
Yes.
Did you play Farmville?
I didn't play Farmville, but I played Cafe World.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Man, let me tell you, I was a boss at that game. I loved it. That was a
good game. Boy, that was a good game. Yeah.
See, yeah, when in high school, after school, before I got a car, I would always, like late middle school, early high school, we went to the library because the library was literally a 1 block away from the school. And so usually after school, if you didn't have any extracurricular activities, you would go to the library and just wait for like your parents to come pick you up. And so I would go there and I would just hop on the public computers and play my games. And Cafe World was definitely one of them. And let me tell you, I played the Mini Clip was a frequent site I went to play games.
You ever do the board.com?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Board.com was a great great website for games. There's this game called Ragdoll Volleyball. And whenever I think about it, I still play that. Club Penguin. I don't know
Club Penguin, yeah, I remember that.
Oh my goodness, Club Penguin.
What was that one game with Pixels? I don't know if you remember that. It was a multiplayer game. It was a multiplayer game, and yeah, you would sign. You would. Pixels was like, oh.
You never got into World of Warcraft and things like that, did you?
Nope, but I got into RuneScape.
See, I always kind of was curious of that game. I never played it. Never got into it. The game I was really curious about, though, because I'd see commercials for it all the time, was Toontown. Toontown.com.
Oh, every Saturday morning, those commercials ran through like crazy. Toontown was horrible. I never played it, but I played the demo version of it. First of all, just to get onto the site, it was like a triple X rated site. They wanted your credit card information. They wanted you and all this stuff. It was
which was unheard of in my house. There's no way. I remember like just to even get music on my iPod and stuff like that. I'd have to get a gift card from Walmart because there was no way we were putting my mom's card information online. There's no way. That was unheard of at the time. So that's crazy. But yeah, that kind of goes up through high school and then college is a whole other chapter there of different games and things like that. Um, so let's recap. By the way, this is in two parts, Ben. So this is why I'm saying let's recap. So let's recap. We've talked about kind of the early parts of games, like with the Game Boy Color, and how we love the portability of that. Um, PlayStation 2, the Wii, which Ben gave away, which is
Oh,
super.
okay.
So because it's a
I sold it. I sold it.
Ben, in the last episode, we were talking about computer games, as far as getting online and stuff like that. But I want to back up a second. Did you play CD-ROM games at all? Like the games you'd have to have the CD for and put it into your
Yeah,
computer?
yeah. I mean, my mom tried to introduce me to those because she had a couple to spare. One game she tried to get me to play and that she got stuck on was a game called Journey.
This
I
was your
think
mom?
yeah, yeah, it was my mom. And she would play this game called Journey. I think it was like Journey to the Center of the World, Center of the Earth. And like the point was you're at the, you crash land on the island and you're trying to find your way off the island, but you end up like going through these caves and crevices and you end up getting to the middle of the earth. And yet there's so many, it was it was an adult game, not in the terms of like explicitity, but it was just so difficult. It was a
Yeah.
huge, difficult puzzle game. And I remember she got stuck at some point, and this is like long after like she stopped playing the game. She said, "You should take up where I left off." And I did, and I started moving past them where she did. And she was like, "How you doing that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just that good." Honestly, I looked up the walkthrough online, and so it was terrible. She was like, "Ben, you shouldn't look up the walkthrough, the and all that stuff to beat the game." I'm like, I can't figure it out. So, and neither can you. So we're just in a household where none of us can figure out how to find the magic mushroom to make it to the next level. So it's either this, it's either we stay stuck or we move on and see what the next stage looks like. And so that's that was probably the only CD-ROM game I can think of that
You
I
ever play a
played a
game
little bit.
from did you ever have a computer during the time of floppy disks and use that?
No, 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 no,
So
no.
so yeah, so the computer I can first remember my mom having, I think there was a computer before this, but the one that I remember the most was the Windows, and it's rated as one of the worst Windows systems of all time. It was called Windows Me, the Windows Millennium Edition. But she had CD-ROM, or not CD-ROM, floppy disk of stuff, including this floppy disk that was called the Microsoft Windows Best of Entertainment Pack. And in this thing had, Solitaire, Tri-Peaks, stuff like that. Also had a game called Jazz Ball. But the main game that I play, also a game called Ski Free. It was a skier, you jump off and you'd be skiing down a mountain, and then all of a sudden a bear would come and attack you. Pipe Stream was another one, but the big game that was on there was called Chips Challenge, and it
Hmm.
was this puzzle game. It is probably the best game to this day that I've ever played, to the place where I've actually found online where someone created an emulator, and I saved it as a bookmark. And I will still to this day replay the game. But you're talking about walkthroughs and stuff like that. My mom and my cousin Deanne spent so many hours on that. And this was when, the only way of saving the game was by inserting a password. So they got to the place where they ended up having this sheet of every level of Chips Challenge and what the password was. And then they also ended up saving, like especially on the puzzle, like the maze parts of it was a puzzle slash maze game, a lot of mazes. And at one point they on a graphing paper recreated the maze of what one of the levels was, because it was so hard, and saved every which direction they went and all that stuff on how to beat the game. I mean, they had papers upon papers of how to beat this game. and that's probably the oldest game that I do remember playing was Ships Challenge, and it is probably the best. It holds up today. I'm very surprised it's not an app somewhere. It would be a perfect iPhone app or whatever for people to play. But CD-ROM,
Twin, I found the game. I found the game I played. It was online, but it's called Habbo.
Why do I recognize that? Habbo.
I promise if you look it up real quick, you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
And you were talking about this game before. Is this?
I call it the pixel game because it kind of.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
But yeah, Habbo. It was like the first social network gaming world, and where people had like different. I guess it would be kind of like SimCity, kind of. And where
Habbo, because I keep coming up with Hobo.
Habbo.
Okay, Habbo. Oh, Habbo Virtual World. You can still join.
Yeah, it's going strong still. But it was a social networking game, and this was like I think before Facebook. This was the time of MySpace, and so this is where like news stories started coming out about like, hey, be careful of online presence, because people it was social network, and you can go to different worlds and different floors of people, and you could actually communicate and like have a full-on conversation with people, and that's where it kind of got creepy because people, of course, would meet up together, and then information would get shared and all that stuff. But Habbo was the game of everyone around me. Everyone would play Habbo. If you wanted like special items and things like that, you would pay to play. But oh my gosh, Habbo, I might rejoin. I might find it. I might see if I can find my old account.
If you can't find your old account, I think this is what we need to do. We need to both join. And you need to take me through this world. I am very interested to see this place.
It's weirdly. It's just like it was like an escape from life, which is terrible. But like you would have your own setup, and then you can talk to other people. The biggest thing was they would have challenges. So if you go to certain floors of people, okay, so the whole thing will work like the currency was coins, and what you could do, you can actually transfer coins to other people. And so, but most people would be like giveaways, and you would go to the floor, and they would have like a huge maze set up, secret passages, and it was so intricate. And if you can make it to the end of their floor maze, they would give you like 1 million coins. But it was so impossible to do. You would fall through a crack and end up at the beginning of the floor maze, and then you would just get so stuck. You just be like, nope, I'm leaving this floor. It's too difficult. But it was so cool. Oh my gosh.
I'm sold on this. I'm serious. Like, if you can't find your old account and you got to restart, let me know. Let's do it. Let's go through this game because this looks amazing. This looks awesome. The other thing I want to say about CD-ROM games is that, just like I said about Game Boy games, I miss the times of whenever a new movie would come out or whatever, you get a new Game Boy game with that. They did that with CD-ROM games, but there's an even deeper time that I miss about this time, and that is on the front of cereal boxes, they used to give you CD-ROM games. So one of the best CD-ROM games I played was Captain Crunch. Did you ever play these games?
I didn't play them, but I heard about them. I heard about people getting like CD games through cereal boxes. I just thought that was just ridiculous.
It is amazing to me how good these games were for the fact that they were just a little promotional item on the front of a cereal box. The Captain Crunch game was amazing to play. And now that I have a PC again, I might see if I can somehow download it.
See, I never did that. I always did I would always do the codes on the cereal boxes to unlock a special item or a special level on their online game. That's what you had to go
out. See, that's the thing is you had internet a lot sooner than I did. I did not have internet until
I didn't. I had to go to the library.
Oh, you had to go to the library. Did you play CD-ROM games in the library? I remember there was
No.
this Arthur game that they had at the library, and those CD-ROM games were actually meant for you to go and check out and take them home. Da 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 da. Never did that. I always took them over to the computer at the library and play those games there. And there's an Arthur game that was really fun. Did you also play any of the was a humongous entertainment HE games at all? This would have been Putt Putt, Spy Fox, Pajama Sam, things like that.
Let me. I'm about to see an image or something like that because I don't remember. What was it called? Spy Fox.
Spy Fox was one of them. Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, Freddy Fish. So the deal was there's this company called HE, and it was for grade levels. So Putt Putt was kind of like your basic, your younger children game. It's kind of a mystery puzzle kind of game that you got to do. Which I played Putt Putt Saves the Zoo so much. That was a fun one that I played to the place where I even over spring break played it again and loved it. Did you play these? Did we just unlock a memory?
I'm looking. Freddy the Fish. Is that you?
Or did we just unlock a memory? Did we just unlock a core memory?
We did. Freddy the Fish, and I think the little car. Putt Putt? No, not Putt Putt, but Freddy the Fish.
You played Freddy Fish?
Oh my, Freddy Fish. Oh
what
my
Freddy
gosh.
Fish game did you play? Because I played the Hog Wrestler one.
I don't remember which one it was, but I remember this game was difficult.
Yeah. So I kid you not, Leslie and I just played. We played Putt Putt Saves the Zoo. That was pretty easy because I memorized most of the clues on that one. We played Freddy Fish and had some difficulties on that one. That's supposed to be a level up. And then we played Pajama Sam, which she played almost all of them because that was her absolute favorite. That is difficult. Oh my goodness, I had a hard time with that. And then Spy Fox is supposed to be the most difficult. I don't even think we attempted it. She might have. And so, but those games hold up to the point of those are now apps that you can download on your phone. Those are now apps you can download on your tablet. They're games that you can still buy because they still hold up. It's amazing.
Freddy Fish. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other CD-ROM games. I had like a Tonka game, Backyard Baseball. I played that. Did you play any of the backyard sports games?
This sounds familiar, but not quite sure. I know I played a lot of online games like Cartoon Network. I'll play like one of those quick games. Codename Kid Next Door.
Oh, Codename Kid Next Door.
That was a fun game with the rocket one where we had to level up and get the spaceship. It's still there.
Yeah, you can still go back and play a lot of it, but I'm just saying I miss that too. How again these TV shows would come out and then they'd have commercials in between the TV shows of, hey, check, you could actually play Hannah Montana Virtual Makeover, by going to
why
Disney.
do you know that?
Because I played it. All right, the best game though was.
Now we get to the meat of the convo.
The best one of those games was Kim Possible. There was one game where you could play
the restaurant one.
Well, I was going to say the one with the car. You could do something with the car. That's all I could remember.
For me, it was the Nacho Grande with the naked mole rat. Oh. That was my game for Kim Possible. You had to make you had to make orders and go be specific about the nachos.
So, to I think the final phase of games that we need to talk about is college. And when I think about high school, I think about that I stopped playing console games in high school. I don't remember playing console games too much, especially those last couple of years of high school. Was more involved in other things and other activities at high school that I didn't have enough time. Definitely played a lot of games on the iPod Touch, those app games or whatever. But then when I went to college, I remember GTA 5 had just come out freshman year of college. And then I started dating someone who had an Xbox. And that summer, or actually that when we came back to school that next fall, I started playing Xbox for the first time and playing some of those older games, but also playing some new games, and kind of got reintroduced into the gaming world. When did you get your Xbox? Was it after we had become roommates?
Yes, that's when you forced me to get it.
I forced you to get the Xbox?
Yes, yes. You basically forced me. This wasn't in our first apartment together. It wasn't in Terra. What was it called? Terra? No,
Yeah,
South.
Terra Apartments.
Yeah, Terra Apartments. Terra Apartments is the first apartment, and you had the system in there, and we would play back and forth. We would share the GTA uh, profile character with each other. Every time someone
Hey,
died,
that was a nice setup. When I think about that,
that was a good time.
Because I had gotten a projector from Facebook Marketplace, brought it out to the living room there, and put the screen down. And so we were literally projecting GTA, the Xbox games, onto the projector right there in the living room. Had a couple couches facing it. It was a nice setup. That was a nice gaming setup.
But yeah, that was a good time. And then once we moved to Fair Commons, I finally got an Xbox. But that was the Xbox 360.
Yeah, and we both had Xbox 360. That was my first. When we moved to that next apartment, I bought a PlayStation for a hot second, a PS4, and then sold it again because I don't know what I was thinking. But that was kind of my reintroduction into games. It's actually kind of bad. The person I broke up, or I don't think I broke up with, but the person that I had a breakup with, we so the Xbox was at my dorm room, and when we broke up, this is just so bad, but I was like, so I know we're broken up, but can I at least borrow the Xbox until the end of the semester?
And you talk about me in the week. Let's talk about you, insensitive.
Yeah, it was.
You still trying to have the benefits?
She said yes, so I got the
because she was hoping to get you back.
No, that was not the. It was more she broke up with me. That's neither here nor there, though. The funny thing is,
I think we need to talk about that here.
Nope. And the funny thing is that she said yes and allowed me to keep the Xbox just for the rest of that semester, even though we were broken up. So then I get a job that summer, and one of the first things I purchased with my first paycheck is an Xbox 360, just so I can play games again. So I kind of been reintroduced and sold for life on that. GTA, we've talked about it before, but GTA had a big influence on our friendship because, like you said, we play single player until somebody died, which usually was me. I would die pretty quick. And then you'd have to trade. So you play for 50 minutes and I'd play for 2 minutes. And then playing online was fun. That's some of my favorite memories of us in the apartments. This would have been unfair, but we literally had a setup where you had your TV in your room and you had your Xbox set up in there, and you could lay on your bed and play from there. And then across the hall is me, and I had my door open and I had my Xbox plugged into the TV there. And so we'd be playing online, yelling across the living room.
Oh, it was so great. Oh my gosh.
That was a good setup. I miss those days. And I remember when you moved out, because you lived with Leslie and I for the first couple months of us being married. When you moved out, I was like,
which was not weird. It was not weird. I was moving anyway for grad school, and so I just wanted to wait. Why try to find a new place to live for 3 months so then I could just move to Chicago? I just thought, okay, I have friends. I have, that wasn't the best man. I had a best friend and that I could stay with and his new bride. just for 3 months. Just for 3 months.
Yeah, we've had people stay with us longer. So it's, and I remember we had to explain to so many people that we were fine with it, like that we had insisted that you stay. And so it was a no-brainer that you stay with us. So
it was just a summer. I don't get that. We're not talking about like guys, I just need to stay with you guys until I get back on my feet. And no, it wasn't one of those. It was like I was leaving. Okay.
And it wasn't even 3 months. I mean, you left that next month. It was from the time that Leslie and I got married, right. It was 1 month. 1 month.
That's right. You guys got married July 21st. I do remember the date. July 21st, 2018. Oh, good.
I need to write that down.
Wow.
What was the year again?
It was the year we graduated. Oh.
My tassel says 2018. So
yeah, so there's my bowling trophy that has someone else's name on it that I got from Goodwill.
Yeah, but I remember when you moved out, that was a big concern of mine. Was even then we had started playing GTA. How did we play GTA in that apartment though at the same time? Did we just talk from upstairs to downstairs?
In Sun Valley?
Yeah. Because we played online still.
Oh gosh.
What if I would have had to have been downstairs? Are we literally yelling from upstairs and downstairs what to do? Unless
something tells me we didn't play that often.
Well, it was a short amount of time. I do remember that too.
Yeah, it was a quick because remember we went from college because it was like the last month of college, and then we moved into Sun Valley. So barely my stuff was unpacked or anything like that because I was going to be moving within a couple of months. You were planning a wedding. So that was happening like a month or two after we graduated. So it was kind of like, we often would play on your system downstairs. We would play games together. We didn't play GTA,
I do remember
we played Lego World. Yep. Lego Worlds was a big one.
Lego Jurassic World.
Yep, which I finished. You're welcome.
Yep, I'm not happy about that still. Yes, I do remember us playing more games together. I do remember that a little bit.
And then I remember as a going away gift, you gave me a cord splitter. So then we could use the headsets and talk while I'm in Chicago and we could still play together. Which
was a huge relief when we did that the first time because I was like, man, I'm going to miss these times. And that's been the cool thing is like we, to this day, will play games online.
Will we? I mean, Will we?
Yeah.
Do we?
To this day. There are times where
today?
I might get a little busy. You might get a little busy.
Oh, it's been a few weeks, buddy. You left me here addicted to Fortnite, and now I have no one to play with.
It's been a couple busy weeks, but
I can't afford my rent this month because I invested all my money in skins on Fortnite, I'm blaming you and I'm moving back.
That's on you. No, you're not. That's on you.
No. It sounds like it was your fault because you left me high and dry. I didn't know how to purchase skins, and so I just bought the maximum thing. Okay.
Whatever the credit card would max out on.
Hey, exactly. I thought the point was to catch them all. So I bought all the skins.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know the item shop would refresh every single day. So right at 7:00 each day, I bought out the entire store.
Wow. But I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool that we still play games online and connect that way. And boy, it's been a 2-part journey, but video games there's a lot of video games I've played, I'm recognizing.
And there's still more that I'm like looking up, still like Midnight Club. Oh my God. That was
Midnight Club. Did you play that on Game Boy?
No, not. I did end up getting, I think it was like a trial run. I think like you could rent a game from GameStop. And so I tried it out for like, what was it, a week? You were allowed to rent it out, or maybe 2 weeks. And I didn't like it. The graphics were terrible. The physics made no sense. But
it reminded me of GTA. That's why I That's why I had it on Game Boy. It was a close thing to GTA for me.
See, I had it on, I think, PS1 or something like that. And so I actually played Midnight Club. And then somehow it got stolen or it broke or I lost it. Something happened where I couldn't find it anymore. And then I couldn't remember the name of the title of it. And so I was like, well, there goes that game. And so now I remember what it's called, Midnight Club. Oh my gosh, that was the game.
I had that years later. I got that on PlayStation 2. And that game, whatever version of Midnight Club that was the GTA map, but with
it's Midnight Club Los Angeles.
Cars. Yeah, so it that was a fun game to play. I would play that one actually with my mom sometimes.
That's weird
because you could do 2-player, and she would hit every pedestrian. It was insane. She loved hitting the pedestrians, and this is the same person that grounded me because I was playing GTA years before. So,
Twin, I think we need to take a vow and say, when we're old and gray and, no longer can walk, which is coming up in a couple of years, my
foot's going to give out one of these things.
we should, like, when we're retired, old and gray, we should, instead of playing a bridge game, How I Met Your Mother, RIP, we should bring back some of these games.
I'm telling you, I am all for. I really think, what the viewers want is we should play this Habbo game.
Oh, Habbo! Oh yeah.
Game. I think we should record ourselves playing it. I've got the equipment now to be able to do that. I think.
Well, it's not an action game. It may be weird.
It's
but the mazes will. I promise, the mazes are going to make you mad because they were the most frustrating thing. They're like someone's advertising $1 million at the floor if you can successfully get through the maze, and you're like, okay, dope. And the biggest thing is that they can own multiple floors, so you get to the end of one floor, and then if you go through a portal and it goes to their second floor, and then if you can get through how many floors they got. You got a huge stack of cash. I never got through a single one of them. Now I wonder if I could do that now.
See, I'm telling you, I will say, I don't tell people this, but with the Mr. Denniston show stuff, the number one thing I get asked to bring back is not the Mr. Denniston show itself, although I have gotten asked to bring it back.
Yeah, because no one really asked for that to come back.
Goodness, not for the podcast, even though that's what we're full force bringing back right now with the MDS podcast summer that we're a couple weeks into now, and I'm sure it's going just fine.
Juveniles.
I hope that I've kept up with the uploads at this point.
It's only 2.
But it is the gaming I did and I don't know if you ever saw it, but I decided to be a streamer for a little bit.
You're one of them?
Streamed. Yeah, during quarantine, I Twitch streamed. And my students found those videos, and all they kept asking for was for me to bring those back. I think we could bring it back for something like this. I think we could bring it back for the Habbo thing. I think that'd be funny. I think we should try it.
Okay, I think we should have a segment where we replay some of these games.
Yeah, let's do it. We can replay some of these games. Who knew that this would come from one of our podcast episodes? So, all right, Twin, we've been recording this podcast, this one, part 1 and part 2, for like 3 hours now. Oh. So if you don't mind ending us out and getting us out of this.
I have an application to send. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the household of the Denniston and Burney something.
Denniston Burney.
Sounds horrible. I don't even know how to leave off on this. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Every present is a future, and every future is a present. When the night is here and you come back on the way, and the night goes. All right, guys, we'll see you next time on the cool side of the pillow.
Oh my goodness, that's not the name. Bye.
Bye.